felt like you're always playing catch up in the rapidly evolving professional landscape? Do the words pivot, adapt, and evolve make you feel both excited and overwhelmed when thinking about your career or business? Wonder if there's a way to not just survive, but thrive amidst the whirlwind of technological advancements, market shifts, and new age strategies? If you're seeking to transform these challenges into powerful stepping stone, then today's episode on how to future-proof your career and business is for you. Hello and welcome to the Dare to Differentiate show, where we're all about owning your voice, value, and visibility with confidence. Comment to let us know where you're tuning in from. Hello, hello. I'm your host, Diana YK Chan, LinkedIn Top Voice, LinkedIn Learning Instructor, and founder of My Marketability, where I help you differentiate your brand, grow your network, and communicate with confidence. Whether you're tuning in live or watching the replay, I am so delighted that you're here. If we're not connected yet, make sure to follow me on LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. All right, so let me check in the comments to see who's in the house. All right, hello, Eunice, welcome. Hello from Texas here, Ghana, amazing, amazing. Comment to let us know where you're tuning in. If you're excited for today's episode, type in a +1. Type in a +1. So today, I'm going to be covering 10 strategies on how to future-proof your career or business. I decided to run this episode today because I'm still seeing a lot of layoffs happening. So I wanted to run the show to talk about things that you can proactively do in today's economic times here. Okay. Amazing, amazing. All right, let me just say hello. Hi, Nicole from New Jersey. Is it Silas from Newfoundland, Canada? Amazing, amazing. That is great to hear that. Okay, so some housekeeping is that there will be a replay. So if you can't catch the whole thing, make sure to hop over to my YouTube channel at Diana YK Chan, where we'll be adding timestamps later on as well. Okay. And you're going to see some pop up like QR codes here that if you want to connect with me further, you can join my mailing list where you can get access to all my 10 LinkedIn learning courses. You can also follow me on my LinkedIn as well. So before I dive in here, I'm just going to want to say hello. All right. I see Patrick, Galina, amazing from California, Bulgaria, amazing, amazing. Okay. So welcome all here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I want to share with a few things, some exciting things. September is always, because I got that back to school, back to new opportunities month. I've been really busy here this month with helping clients, not only from pivoting their careers and job search, but what's interesting is I've been getting more new clients asking me to help them with starting their business. So this is why I titled this episode, How to Future-Proof Your Career and Business. More and more people are coming to me now asking me, how do I build my online presence? How do I pitch myself? How do I get more opportunities? So they all go hand in hand, whether you're looking for a full-time opportunity or whether you're starting something new. I'm going to be talking about that today. And some exciting things I want to talk about here, what's happening also as well. Like this year, I've launched so far 5 LinkedIn learning courses. If you haven't checked them out yet, make sure to check them out because they are free to watch. They're short. Each video is only about 1 minute long. Let me just review some of the courses that recently launched here. I have a course on presenting with confidence. That was my very first course I launched last year. And it's been doing so well. I've been getting more clients coming to me right now for public speaking help, presentation help, especially right now when it's that conference season. More and more people are coming to me to ask for that support there. So make sure to check this course out. It's only 20 minutes long and it's free. My other course that I have is how to pivot your career. I've been known in the space of helping people change careers, change industries, start their own business and level up. So LinkedIn asked me to create a course earlier this year on how to pivot your career, where I have 10 videos to walk you through high level of what to do when it comes to that career change. So if you're looking to make a pivot, type in a comment to let me know. Type in pivot. I just want to hear if there's anyone looking to make a pivot. My other course that holds dearly to my heart is on navigating bias and stereotypes as an Asian American professional. This course was one of the most challenging courses I had to create, but I felt that I really want to share my voice and represent as well, to talk about the common challenges as Asian leaders represent and how to navigate that in the workplace there. The other course that recently launched, one of my favorite ones here, is networking in the digital age. So it's not just about networking in person, but also how do I network effectively in this online world now? How do I go about reaching out to people on a platform like LinkedIn? How do I generate opportunities? Networking is one of the most popular talks that I get asked from organizations and associations. So make sure to check this course out. It's less than 10 minutes long. And then my most recent course that I just launched is increasing your visibility at work. So this is all about showcasing your presence, your credibility, things that you can do that will up your game, increase your reputation to generate more opportunities there. So check out these courses. If you've taken any of these courses, let me know as well. I would love for you to share them. Give me a 5-star review. And then I'm also excited to share with you that I have 2 more courses coming out in the next few months. The first one that's coming out here in October is on mastering job interviews. So if you have interviews coming up, that's a fantastic course to take. And the other one of my other favorites that I get asked a lot, one of my keynote talks is building your personal brand. That's coming out in November. And then I have 4 more courses to create by the end of this year. So stay tuned for that. So if you are excited, type in a +1. I want to welcome you all here today. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. So I'm going to be covering 10 strategies on how to future-proof your career in business. I'm going to walk you through each one, and I'm going to give you actionable tips as well. And I'm also going to ask you questions. I would love to interact with you. Feel free to chime into the comments as well. Okay? Awesome. So let's get started, shall we? All right. I see some of you here. Okay. Chris from Jamaica. Some of you typed in a pivot here. Okay. Amazing. Amazing. Awesome. Okay. So my very first tip for you is on how to future-proof your career is number 1 is to embrace change. You want to embrace change. This is so, so important. Why is this important? Especially in today's fast-paced world where really when you resist change, it can really stagnate your growth. Embracing change helps keep you more adaptable and relevant. So what this means is really about flexibility and proactiveness, always being ready to adjust your strategies, your approach to the current landscape. So for some, if you have unfortunately lost your job recently, right? Be proactive and embrace change. So think about, okay, what's actually happening right now? What can I do to proactively manage my marketability? So for example, like staying up to date, like by setting aside time to review industry trends, challenges, and opportunities. Get a really good pulse of what's happening there, right? For example, I have a client right now who recently moved from Hong Kong to Canada. And one of the things I suggest to her is to really understand the landscape of the financial services industry, of what's happening here, right? What are those trends and challenges and opportunities? And that's going to help you stay ahead there. Another piece of what you can do is attend webinars or conferences that are related to your field. This is a great way to build your network, to meet other experts as well. The other thing what you want to do is seek feedback regularly to understand areas of change and improvement. Right. So this are some actionable tips of what you can do there. I want to ask some of you here, like I want to ask in the comments to the audience here is, let me just type in the comment here. I want to check in with you is, what's the biggest challenge you're currently facing in future-proofing your career or business? Type in the comments to let me know. I want to hear from you, like what are your current challenges when it comes to future-proofing your career business? Right. In a sense of, thinking about how do I get more opportunities or how to pitch myself or how to grow my network. Let me know what's your biggest challenge. I want to hear from you there. Okay. So the first we just talked about strategy is to embrace change. Okay. Especially in this current climate of changing world, we need to embrace that. The second piece is really about cultivating a growth and possibilities mindset. So this is a big one, right? Cultivating a growth and possibility mindset. When you cultivate this kind of mindset, you'll see opportunities where others see it as setbacks. Okay, so ensuring that you're constantly making progress there. And this is something I really learned when I attended a retreat this summer in France. And what I really learned was the importance of a possibility mindset, especially in today's climate where, we're hearing a lot of, say, bad news, right? Or sad news. And so that's like that reality or current realities that we're hearing. And it's so important to also step away from that and think about, hey, what else is possible? Like in light of these setbacks or challenges and obstacles, what are the opportunities? What are the possibilities there? Right? Always looking for the lessons learned, growth opportunities in every situation, right? Seeing that silver lining as well. Okay. So, a few things that you can do here, right? You could start journaling, like daily reflections and learning, right? This is all about getting in tune to yourself of what's important to you, what you want to do more of, getting you to dream big as well. Like I'm really big on that, like taking walks in nature there for you to think of things and new possibilities. Another would be around personal development, attending self-improvement training, workshops, or read like, self-help type of books. It's going to help you think of new ideas, right? The other is to really challenge your negative thoughts and practice positive reframing. Okay. Especially like, you're faced with challenges, like you may have these negative thoughts, put it aside, challenge it, ask it, is this really true? How is this impacting me there? And practice positive reframing so that you can see things from a different perspective there. Okay, so let me just check in the comments to see what are the challenges that I'm hearing from the audience here. Just let me take a look of the comments here. Let me take a look here. Okay, lack of confidence in own abilities. Okay, what else here? What are the other challenges that I'm seeing? All right, feel free to share with me. So, okay, the lack of confidence is a big one. I hear that a lot, especially if you've worked in a challenging work environment or you face some setbacks. A big part underlying that I'm seeing that would hinder people's growth is that confidence in a sense of, do I have what it takes to make this change, for example? Right? Okay, let me see what else is here. All right, let me see. Oops, let me see here. Okay, what else here? Feel free to chime in the comments. We'll love to hear from you here today. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next strategy. Strategy number 3 is around building your brand. So this is a big one. I'm really big on building your brand. Okay, I really believe if you want to future-proof your career and business, having a strong personal brand is what's going to set you apart, ensuring that you're kept top of mind when opportunities come up. Okay. I always say this is my favorite line is that you have an upper hand when you have a great brand because you're more in demand. You have the upper hand when you have a great brand because you're more in demand. Right? So it's all about showcasing who you really are, that authentic side of you, so that people get a sense of your personality and character, consistently showcasing your unique value and strengths of what you bring to the table. And that's how you really stay top of mind there. So I want to ask the audience here is that on a scale of 1 to 10, how confidently can you say that you've built a unique personal or business brand? What makes you stand out? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the weakest, 10 being strong, take a time moment to evaluate that. Like how come you say that you've built a unique brand? Right? And there's nothing wrong if it's a low score or not. Like it's just an awareness piece of where you're at now. Okay. This is one of the hottest topics that I get asked to speak about at organizations where I talk about the importance of advocating for yourself, building a strong brand to get more opportunities internally. And I also believe that when it comes to building your brand online as well. Okay. So some of the things that basic things to do for part of building your brand is update your LinkedIn profile, right? That regularly there. Okay. So that you're staying up to date, so that you want to showcase that you are active as well, and that people understand what you're doing, what you're up to. Like that's the one basic thing to do is start updating that profile piece there. The second is around sharing your insights or success stories on social media. This is a great way to build your visibility and your credibility and to help people to keep you in mind for opportunities as well. Right? So share your wins and highlights, share your point of view. Something I always talk about there is that if you want to elevate yourself to be that go-to expert, think about the most common things people come to you for. What did they ask? And share that in bite-sized content to elevate that credibility there. Okay? Let me just check in the comments of, on a scale of 1 to, what am I seeing here from folks here? Let me see. 3, 8, 5, 5, 5. Okay, so I'm seeing the 5 in the middle and building your brand. Okay, that's good. Okay, so this is good, right? So knowing that if you're at 5, like what else can you do to elevate that your brand there? Something that I've learned like early in my career when it comes to brand building and also reputation building is that let people know what you're all about to stand out, meaning let them know what you're amazing at. Let them know what you're passionate about. Let them know what value you bring to the table. Now, I know for some it seem like, okay, is this like too much where I am bragging or am I being too boastful? The thing is, if you don't advocate for yourself, how will people know what you bring to the table? Especially whether you are going for a job interview when you're trying to convince you're the ideal candidate, or if you're in a business trying to convince that why a client should hire you. You want to be able to talk about the benefits of hiring you. The benefits of hiring you. Oftentimes, people will talk about more around their years of experience or the skills they have, but they don't talk about the so what. If you can dig deeper of the so what of the benefits of hiring you, the contribution that you bring, the value that you add, that is going to make you stand out. Okay. So I want to give you that exercise to do here is 1, go update your LinkedIn profile. 2nd, come up with your elevator pitch, the why you. Why should someone hire you? Why should someone hire you? This is one of the questions I always practice with my clients of why should someone hire you? And work through 3 great reasons. Give 3 reasons to build your case. Give a definition of what it means for that reason, right? And give proof to it, right? The proof is also going to seal the deal from a credibility standpoint there, okay? And then add in the value, right? The benefits of hiring, of how you can help the employer, the client to achieve their goals there. Okay. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Amazing. All right. So I see a question here. After tapping into your existing network, what strategies are there to expand your networking reach? Okay. I'm going to be talking about networking in one of my strategies. So hold on to that there. Actually, that's perfect. Actually, grow your network is my next strategy. Grow your network. So I'm going to answer that question right after here. Okay. This is good. So networking is one of the big things that I really recommend to double down on in today's economy. Like if you want to future-proof your career, you really want to build a robust network because when you have a robust network, it can really open doors to unparalleled opportunities and insights. Okay, so what that means is really building genuine and mutual relationships based on trust and shared value, right? Really keep it building, like adding value versus keeping it transactional, right? Staying in touch with people, making an effort and showing up. So as an example, like even this past weekend, it was my 15-year MBA reunion at my university. It was my schools where they're celebrating the 100 year. And for me, it was important to go back to London, Ontario, to attend the events, to reconnect with alumni. And even though it was just a short 24-hour trip, I met people who I haven't seen in years, like decades, or people who are like the CEO of their businesses. And it was great to talk to them about their challenges, their needs, and opportunities. And I'm going to be following up with these folks there because I know there's going to be either partnership or collaboration opportunities there. And so you have to really make an effort of asking yourself, like, what kind of network do I want to build? Who are the people I really want to connect with? Who are the decision makers? And how can I really nurture those relationships? This is something you have to really invest time in as well. You know, when you're first starting out, like something that I hear a lot from clients is that especially if you've been in your own field or industry, let's say for a decade plus, and you haven't actually proactively network with people outside of your industry and you're looking to make a change, then it's important to start activating that. Look for other people who do something different from you that you can learn from them there. Okay. Identify what the weak point is, but it starts somewhere there. Okay. I always like to say start with your warm network, right? People that you know who can refer you to other people. Right. I also like to say to like start with people like say your classmates, like for example, like reconnecting with alumni, right? Reconnecting with friends you went to school with or clubs or associations that you're part of. That's a great way to activate your network. Now, I'm really big on building my network through LinkedIn. That's something I'm really big on, especially the last few years where a lot of things have gone virtual. I've now really built a strong network globally on LinkedIn. So it's not just local now in the greater Toronto area, but also globally there. And that takes a lot of time. We're really taking time to nurture relationships through commenting on people's content. That's one way of doing it. And then taking that relationship further through DMs, direct messages, to nurture that relationship further as well. Right. And then from there, you can have a one on one virtual chat. Right. So you are deepening the relationship at every stage there. Okay. So let me take a look. That question around. Okay. Glenn asked, after tapping into your existing network, what strategies are there to expand your networking reach there? I love that, right? Like once you tap into that, what can you do to expand your networking reach? So first thing first, I think that it's important to take time to really nurture it. Like if you have not really nurtured the network yet, take time to have conversations with them, whether it's through text, coffee chats, in-person chats, to do that first. I'm really big on paying it forward, meaning adding value to my network. So discovering what you can do for others. So identifying their needs and challenges. And then from there, identifying how can I help them? Whether it's making an introduction, sending a piece of interesting article, relevant resource like a course or a podcast or a video, something that will help them that they're going to remember you, like paying it forward so that they're going to also keep you in mind as well. And so if you start doing that, you're going to also see people doing that because you are also modeling the behavior. I have some people in my network, like even the recent alumni event I attended, one of the CEOs I met that he's so good with connecting people. When I shared with him of what I'm up to, what I'm doing, what I want to do more of, he instantly made a connection to someone else at the event. Instantly. He's like, oh, you should talk to so-and-so. And so what you do is like essentially it's paying it forward, adding value so that you appreciate that gesture there. And naturally, I'm going to do that too because someone helped me and I want to help someone else. So that's part of my strategy. I would say is paying it forward, adding value there. That's a great way to expand your networking reach there. All right. Thank you for that question, Glenn. If you have any questions, feel free to chime in as well. I'm trying my best to answer all that. Yes, David said the so what factor. Yes, we were talking about selling yourself. The so what piece is so important. That's how you're really going to close the deal there. The so what. Okay. All right. So I talked about networking. That's something I highly recommend to double down on. Another way people always ask me, like, how do I grow my network, like in terms of building it? And one of the few things, like one, you could attend events, right? Industry related events or workshops. That's a great way to meet industry folks there. Engage with other people and peers on like platforms like LinkedIn. Right. People who talk about things that you care about. That's a great way to meet other like minded people there. Right. I would also set a goal as well to connect with new people like every week or every month. Like, what's that goal of people that you want to meet to help you expand your network? Now, I know for some are going to ask me, well, like networking can feel awkward or draining. I get that a lot. Like even for me as an extrovert, I love connecting with people, but I've learned about myself, even the last few days, I've been meeting so many people since Friday here, is that I get drained as well. And like even being an extrovert. And what I've learned as well, I'm much better connecting with people one-on-one or in a more smaller, intimate group setting than in a very large event with hundreds of people. So for example, like I attended my husband's homecoming event and there were hundreds of people there and it was really loud in the hall. I found that because my voice isn't like the loudest, that I found I was feeling I was shouting to be heard and it was really hard for me. It was very energy draining. So pay attention to what energizes you and what drains you. and do what works for you at the end of the day. Like I enjoy more intimate one-on-one chats than attending like a huge event because I find that I tend to be more quiet. And it's harder for me to have like a meaningful conversation there. Okay. So share with me as well, like what works for you when it comes to networking and relationship building. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the next strategy here. The next strategy, number four, like we're on number five now, is diversify your skills. Diversify your skills. Okay, so why is this important? When you have a diverse skill set, it ensures that you are more adaptable and relevant across various challenges and opportunities, right? It's essentially diversifying. And what this means is that you want to continuously improve, right? Expanding your knowledge, your expertise as well, both within and outside your primary domain. Okay, so here's what I mean. I'll share with you this. Like this is why I really believe this is important to help future-proof your career. I've been in my own business for the past decade, like it's going to be 13 years in January. And primarily, I have been doing speaking and coaching, helping people to stand out to get more opportunities. And the niche that I've been in is primarily helping people with their career transitions, their job search, right? Providing that end to end support when it comes to finding a job. And something that I've been doing more of in terms of diversifying my skill set is that I want to do more speaking, meaning speaking at bigger organizations like Fortune 500 companies and the UN. And that's in order to do that, I knew that I need to up my game in my public speaking skills and presentation skills. So I continue to improve that skill by running live streams like this or practicing recording myself, looking at my recordings to see where I can improve, dropping the filler words. So if there's a skill that you really want to or you want to improve on, like invest in time and energy in that because you're naturally by doing that, you're going to get more of those opportunities. And that's exactly what happened to me this year, where I got 10 LinkedIn learning courses. And part of it's because I've been doing more videos, I've been doing more public speaking there. Okay. And what's interesting when we talk about diversifying here is you need to start talking more about those new things that you care about to attract those type of opportunities as well. So as an example, like this month, I've been attracting more clients who come to me for public speaking coaching, presentation coaching, communication coaching. And it's because part of it is that I've been talking more about that through my online content. That's one piece of it. The other is people are seeing me more in terms of my content through videos, through live streams, through videos that they want to learn more from me there. Okay, so that's like my new offering now in terms of diversifying skill set to help you create new solution offerings there. Okay. The other one is what's interesting because I've been in business now for over a decade. I'm also getting more clients who are coming from the space as a coach, as a business owner, consultant, speaker, and want to learn more about how to grow my business, how to sell myself, how to create better content to attract leads, right? And part of that is that I need to get better at doing this as well in order to attract that type of clientele there, right? And so even earlier this year in April, I ran my first ever business mastermind lecture retreat in Mexico, where I brought together 7 amazing career coaches, a like-minded community to talk about business, but also we got to relax, enjoy, and have fun in a beautiful setting there. And so part of it is like asking yourself, what can I do to up my game, to elevate essentially my skill set that will attract more opportunities there? Okay. And I would love to hear in the chat, like, this is a big one, I would say, in terms of skills development, diversifying skills. This is something I see a lot, even right now, LinkedIn Learning. They are really pushing a lot about skills development, which is why a lot more instructors are creating courses, like the content to help people to improve certain areas, right? To help them become more in demand there. Okay, so you can enroll in courses, attend workshops or conference to help you improve that skill, collaborate with others as well to diversify your learning. And you can also exchange skills that way as well. Okay, so even as an example, like I'm noticing right now, amongst my own network of peers, of coaches and speakers, some of my fellow coaches and speakers are inviting me to speak at their mastermind or with their clients because I have a unique expertise within the skill of personal branding and networking. So I can talk about that to their audience there. So that's something that's got really me thinking as well, right? That yes, you can have a niche of what you've been doing for a long time, but diversify to expand so that you can also attract different types of opportunities. In today's like kind of climate is you want to diversify that way. Okay. Meaning having different types of streams of income as well. And this is something I want to just to talk about this as I see who's in the house here, but something I'm seeing right now as a coach is I'm seeing more also professionals with lots of experience, having worked in the corporate world for like decades. And, they're really pondering what's next. And so what I'm seeing is that some of these are branching out, having a side hustle, like a consulting business, where they consult or advise in their domain expertise, right? They are branching out. I see this people like in my network, my own friends as well, who are really, really good at what they do in the corporate world, and they're starting to branch out. Like I met someone recently at a wedding who has like 3 or 4 consulting gigs on the side, and he's like the VP of an organization with a very demanding job as well. But he's doing that to also future-proof his own career. Like if anything happens, like if I lose my job, I already have some clients here that I can start working with right away, right? And so that is a great way to future-proof your career, is to start being proactive. Even if you get like 1 or 2 clients, it's a great way to have like something, like if in case you lose one thing there. Okay. All right. So let's move on to strategy number 6. Okay. Actually, before I do that here, I want to ask the audience. I have a question for the audience here. What's one new skill you've recently acquired or wish to learn to stay ahead in your industry? What's one new skill, okay, that either you gain or that you wish to learn more of? I want to hear that from you there. Okay, what's one new skill? It could be, for example, like for those who are in their own business, something I hear from some clients, it's like, hey, I want to create more video content. And so the skill I need to learn is, one, is being great on camera, right? The video presence. Second is the communication and presentation skills to be able to connect with the audience. The third skill is learning about all this video equipment there. So those are like 3 things. Just like if you want a goal, is like, I want to create more video content. What can I do? Start learning and developing to help up my game there. Okay. Share in the comments. Let me know what's something that you want to learn to stay ahead in your industry. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to move into strategy number 6. Is experiment and try new things. Experiment and try new things. So this is, I would say it's a big one, right? Especially when things are changing in a changing climate, that you want to experiment and try new things for innovation and growth, right? And really stretching out of your comfort zone, right? It's so important to not be afraid of failure, because oftentimes I hear people like, oh, I'm not sure I can do this because what if it doesn't work out, right? You want to see this as a stepping stone to success. A stepping stone to success. So what I mean by that, right, is we talked about whether it's learning a new skill, right, or doing some experimental type of projects. That's a good way to test things out there, right? So as an example, like even in business here, like I've tested things out, such as running webinars, running live streams, running private workshops, creating new offers. Like these are all things that you can test and experiment. Right? That doesn't necessarily cost a lot, but you can test things out to see, right, if it's something either you like doing, if it gets you traction or not, right? To me, this is also being proactive, right? Instead of waiting for opportunities to come to you, you want to start trying new things, putting yourself out there more, and to see what works. Okay? And learn from those lessons as well. You're always going to learn something new when you try new things. Like especially, I'll give you like the big new thing I did this year was running my very first business mastermind and retreat in Mexico, like an international retreat, 5 nights with 7 other coaches. Never done that before. Now, however, I do have an event planning background. I love event planning. And so that really helped from a logistical standpoint. And then I've also been to the resort where I understand, like I have an idea of it. But I've never run something at that scale, the 5 nights of an agenda of running masterminds there. And that really required me to, one, dream big, to have a vision, right? Second, it required me to also pitch myself, right? To share that vision with others, for others to enroll and say yes to. And the third is really planning all the logistics, making sure that people have a great time, get lots of value and experience. And that was such a great kit. That's one thing that I tried, a new thing that I'm running it again next year. Right now, I'm elevating it. Now I'm enrolling coaches, entrepreneurs, speakers, and consultants into that. Okay. So I want to ask you, like, what's also something that you can also try, right? I'm going to ask you here is share a risk or experiment that you've taken in your career or business that yielded surprising results, right? What's something that you try that really yields surprising results there? All right, so that one that I just shared with you, the mastermind, that's something I'm really proud of that I did. And I'm so proud now that it's been about 5 months out since the participants attended. I can see the impact from that retreat and mastermind that people have created new offerings, new programs, did their first ever launch. Some have ran their first ever 6-figure launches. Like, I'm just blown away to see the results and the impact. And that really helps you see, okay, with the value that you bring, that I realize not only I enjoy coaching and speaking, but I also enjoy facilitating, right? So that's a new thing that I can do as well by experimenting and trying new things there. Okay. So let me check in the comments here. Yes. New skill, let me see from David here, is embracing social media for my storytelling. Amazing, right? Getting on social media is one thing, but also be able to tell your story is another, right? That's also a skill that I had to learn as well, how to become a better storyteller to really connect and relate to my audience. So thank you for sharing that, David. All right. Galena said, learn how to promote myself. Oh my goodness, this is a huge one, promoting yourself. I have a training on promoting yourself with confidence and pitching ourselves with confidence. This is something I get asked to speak about as well in organizations. And one of the challenge for a lot of people is speaking up, right? Or talking about your wins there. And that's huge. That's why I always ask people, like, have your career narrative story ready. Like, if people meet you for the first time, how would you like to introduce yourself? Right? With performance reviews coming up at organizations, how would you like to promote yourself there? Or if you plan on being active on social media, how do you talk about your wins? Right? Yeah, that's a good one there. Oh, here's another one. Utilizing AI to create authentic content. Oh, I love that. I don't know who that is. I know it's from LinkedIn here. Um, I'm curious how many of you use AI to create content. Type in a +1 if you do. I do. I've been using ChatGPT since last year in December, and I do use it to help me with creating content for social media, creating programs, emails, creating workbooks and guides. It's a great starter. Like, I find it's actually pretty good if you give a good prompt. The key here is learning how to give good prompts so that it sounds like you there. And I've been using it a lot. It actually helps me become more efficient and also increases the effectiveness, the quality of what I produce as well there. So thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Better storytelling to captivate audience. Oh, I love this one. Okay. Yeah, storytelling is huge, right? Because that's what's going to connect with people's the heart and the emotion piece as well. You probably notice I'm telling stories along the way to help connect with you all there. Okay. Amazing. Okay. Okay. Amazing. Okay. I don't know who typed in Diana here, my name. Perfect. Jane had a +1. Okay, this is great to hear that. Okay, so I'm going to move on. We are on the 7th strategy, which I alluded to earlier here a bit. Our strategy number 7 is to pitch your solution and services. Okay, this is all about pitching yourself, right? So you know how we talked about trying new things, but one of the key things here is at the end of the day, you need to be willing to pitch yourself. Okay, so if you don't, essentially, like, you're not asking for the sale, you're not asking for the hire there. You want to be proactive and showcasing your value, because you never know what opportunities will lead your way that way. Okay. So I'll give some examples here, right, of a pitch. Okay, so for those who are in more the career corporate setting, like you essentially want to pitch of your wins. You want to pitch yourself for a promotion, pitch yourself for a new opportunity that you want like to go after, right? And think about how you're going to articulate your value prop, but also your solution in terms of the plan. Like, how are you going to help the organization to achieve their goals? From a business standpoint, right? You want to be able to articulate like what could be the expected result. How can you help them? Right. So as an example, like, how I shared with you that I recently started doing more public speaking coaching for clients. Even though it's a new offering, it's very similar to what I do in interview coaching. Like, I've been doing interview coaching for over a decade now. It's all about pitching yourself. I just need to tweak it back to presentation and public speaking coaching, and tweak it to that client of, okay, you're preparing for a talk at a conference, and this person is nervous, lacks confidence, and not sure how to speak in a structured way. So I put together a proposal on that and pitch that, right? Creating that proposal to talk about the expected outcomes and the deliverables. What is the objective? What are the challenges? And what's the expected outcome, right? And for some, like, this is like for those who are business owners as well too. It's like for some, they're like, oh, I need to get it approved by the employer. I need to run it by so and so. You want to have something that they get a proposal that they can see of the value that you bring there, right? So you want to practice pitching yourself more. So for me, like, I have about usually 3 to 5 sales calls every week. And so I'm talking to people, always learning about what are the challenges, what are the needs there. And I'm pitching myself, even though I'm having the conversation. At the end of the day, I'm pitching what I bring to the table in terms of my service, my offerings. And then I also follow up with a series of emails to showcase the program offering, the emails of client success stories, the wins, testimonials. All that's going to give credibility there. Okay. So this is really important, especially for those. Okay. I want to see if there's any of you who are looking to start their own thing, meaning their own consulting gig or getting like a coaching gig, whatever that is, because I'm starting to get more of those. I want to get my first few gigs. Here is that you need to have either your pitch message ready, a pitch deck ready, anticipate the type of questions that you can get from the person who's looking to hire you. Right? You have to have that ready so that it shows that you've been thoughtful and thinking of all these things there. And you want to practice that you sound confident that you can help someone. Like, if you believe that you can help someone, you want to sound confident. You want to give them that certainty and comfort that you believe you can help them there, right? If I can't help someone, I'll tell them. I'll be very honest that I'm not the right coach for them. But if I really believe that they're my ideal client, I believe I can help them because of understanding their situation and because of I've helped similar type of situations, I'll let them know. Give them that reassurance as well. Okay. Now, this is going to take time because I always hear from people, oh, it feels awkward pitching myself. And the way I like to think about it, right, instead of thinking that you're selling yourself, think of how you are adding value. Think of how you are being of service to others. When you think of being of a service mindset, it's almost like a disservice of not sharing what you bring to the table, right? When you think of how you're being of service, how you can help and contribute, and if you don't share that, it's like a disservice there. Okay. So be proud of sharing what you bring to the table there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me see here. Yeah. And the other thing is you want to also think of your pitch, meaning like your message or your proposal, tailor it to your audience needs, like depending on what there is. And these days you can use AI tool like ChatGPT to help you tailor that, right? Give a little background of the audience, what their challenges are, and you want to talk about what the goals are. You could easily tailor that really quickly as well, right? To the client's needs there. Okay. Let me see here. I want to hear from David here. An experiment. I created a fundraiser for a disaster relief event through running a marathon. Results were incredible because I was willing to put myself out there. Also ran my butt off with incentive of the fundraiser. Amazing, right? That's so amazing, right? You did a fundraiser event. That sounds like that's something that was meaningful for you as well, and that's amazing to hear. Thank you for sharing that, David. Good. Okay, so this is good. Let me see. Let me see here. Who else is still here? Okay, if you're getting value, type in a +1. I'm going to be sharing a few more strategies here. Okay, I'm going to talk about strategy number 8, and then feel free to ask me questions as well. Okay, I'm going to be taking questions. All right, strategy number 8 is to leverage technology and AI, right? Because tech advancement is just totally fast paced now, amplifying the speed and efficiency, and it can really provide you a competitive advantage, right? So I talked about earlier about like ChatGPT. And so for you, like if it's something that you want to get ahead, essentially, being tech savvy is important, right? So that you are using the latest tool to enhance the work that you are producing there. Okay. So some things you can do. You want to stay ahead on one of those emerging technologies. There's tons of sites out there, or what are the latest type of AI tools, for example. You can also invest in tools that can help with automating a repetitive task, right, to save you time and be more efficient. You can also join any of these tech forums or communities to learn about things that are coming out there. So for me, in the space of being a business owner, I do invest in tools, right? So tools like, for example, the Restream platform here that allows me to run live streams. That's something I do invest in. Or I have a platform to run my entire email management e-commerce platform using Kartra, for example, and I could set up sequences and campaigns. That's all going to help save a lot of time there. Right. So you want to look at what type of tools that you can invest. A project management tool could be like Asana, for example. Like I use that tool to delegate tasks to my assistants there, or to manage any bigger projects. Those are all things going to help you stay organized. A lot of times people always ask me like, how do I juggle so much? And for me, it's interesting. Like I actually plan a lot of downtime as well. Like I have like my Mondays and Fridays off where I have no meetings, where I have my planning days, and I call it CEO planning and pampering days, where I do more like the thinking work, like brainstorming, organizing work, where I'm not distracted there. And so I do actually say no to a lot of things, but then I look at what are the big projects that's really going to move the needle, and I try as much as possible that I can leverage technology to help me become more efficient and productive there as well. Okay. All right. So, strategy number 9 is to have an online presence. So, this is important because, especially in today's digital era, your online footprint is like your digital handshake. Okay, it often precedes your real world interactions. This is how you're going to really amplify your reach as well, not just locally, but globally there. And so the key here is showing up consistently and authentically to showcase your brand and unique value online. Okay, so what are some actionable things that you can do? This could be posting regularly of your insights, so that you stay top of mind. So, for example, like on LinkedIn, when you post content and when someone likes it, comments on it, did you know that people in their network will also see it? This is how you amplify your reach. This is what we call about increasing your visibility as well. Right. So not just people in your own network, but when they like it and comment it, people in their network will also see it as well. Okay. So I'll tell you a story. Last year I had 5 talks for the UN, Food Agriculture Organization, and every time I did a talk, I would always post about it. And one of these talks, after I posted, the head of learning development from the organization gave a glowing review in the comments. Gave a glowing review, and I was just so touched by it. Someone in his network saw it, which was a former colleague who now works at UNICEF, who is the HR business partner. And she saw that comment. As a result, she reached out to me to hire me to give a talk to UNICEF, like literally that following month. And since then, I've done at least like 3 talks for them now for UNICEF because of that post and someone the comment, and then someone followed up. Right. So you just never know. Like I love opportunities unfold like that because of having that digital presence there. Right. So you also want to also engage with comments and feedback as well. Like in the comments, I have a conversation. Like I just met someone yesterday for the first time through Zoom, and he's been following my content since like 2020, like since the pandemic there. And he started creating his own content, in giving travel hacks tips and real estate tips. And I really love following his tips as well. So we've been supporting in each other's comments there. And finally, we went through the DMs and set up a conversation there. And I loved it. And I know one of the opportunities we're going to have is I'm going to eventually have him on my show as well to talk about his journey of how he works full time while also having a side hustle and be able to travel the world there. And so this is just the beauty of networking, but also having the online presence, how it can really amplify your brand, your credibility, and new possibilities that you've never could have thought of there. Okay. Is this resonating? If this is resonating, type in a +1 there. Type in a +1. Okay. Let me see here. Yes. Okay. So we're going to go into our last tip. Tip number 10. Tip number 10. This is one of my favorite ones, is to be outstanding, to stand out. Right. Being outstanding. What this really means is that you want to be amazing at what you do, right? Excellence is what's going to differentiate you in a crowded market, right? That excellence in terms of the quality of work that you produce, the value that you bring, right? So you really want to go above and beyond in delivering superior quality and value. And that's how you're going to stand out. And it's going to help you get more referral opportunities as well. Okay. So I'll give you an example. Even like yesterday, I reconnected with a former client who I've supported over the years. Like since actually, like I back in the day in university, I was a math tutor. I was her math tutor in high school. And she hired me a few years ago to help her get promoted to a VP finance role. And she landed the opportunity, which I was so proud of. I worked with her closely. And then yesterday, she reconnected with me because of following my content on social media. She's like, I would love to also help my team member with their public speaking skills. Is this something you offer, or do you know anyone there? And I was able to say, like, of course, this is something I do now. And literally within like that day, like we connected, I connected with our team member, and then decided to move forward with coaching. And the reason I share with you this is going back to delivering excellent results. Like when you get results for people, they're going to remember you. They're going to tell people about you, and they're going to want to endorse you and refer you. And when they come back to you, it's easier for them to hire you. You don't have to pitch yourself as hard anymore. In fact, you just tell more about, like, get more like the reassurance messages of, yeah, like I've done such and such like recently, and I can help your client do this. That's all it is. So the pitch becomes a lot easier when you have a strong reputation in delivering excellent work. Okay. So the key here is some actionable steps is that you want to continuously strive for growth and improvement. Right. And going back to diversifying your skills so that you can have more new offerings as well. Even if you're in the corporate world, by diversifying your skill set, you're going to also get other types of roles or opportunities within different departments, different teams as well. Okay. Take the time to share your knowledge and expertise with others, mentor others, advocate for others. That's all going to come back as well. One of my favorite things that I want to share that I've been teaching a lot on how to stand out to get more opportunities. This is one of my favorite formula. Like usually it's in a grid. What I want to share with you here is how to stand out to get more opportunities. If there's one thing to take away, but think about standing out, is I want you to think about increasing your marketability, which is all about being more in demand, right? So that you can do that by diversifying your skills and having a strong brand. Increasing your visibility, which is all about networking and having a strong online presence. Third is increasing your credibility. So having a great reputation where people will refer you, endorse you, see you as someone as a high performer, high potential talent, a leader, right? Increasing that. And then lastly is increasing your likability. So this is all about the soft skills where you have great rapport, trust, relationship building skills with others, great at communicating your value prop as well. When you work on these 4 areas, you're going to naturally get more opportunities. Okay, this ties in everything nicely of what we've been talking about today. So I want to ask the audience here is, out of this, what aspect do you want to work more on? Like, is it the marketability, visibility, credibility, or likability? What aspect of the here that you want to work on that will help you get more opportunities there? Let me know in the comments. Okay. All right. I see someone had an extra ++1 here. Okay. So this must be resonating with you all here. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. Let me see. I want to hear from you. What is it that you want to really work on today based on all the strategies that I shared? What is it that you really want to work on? Or let me know what your key takeaways are from today as well. I would love to hear from you what your key takeaways and actionable steps that you can implement today. Okay. Let me see in the comments here. All right. Patrick shared marketability. Okay, so this is like that branding piece, the skills development piece there. Okay. All right, Tomasa. Hey, great seeing you here. Marketability. Okay, that's great. Jane shared improving my LinkedIn profile. That's great. That's a great tactical one. The first step, improving LinkedIn profile to be more searchable and credible to get more opportunities. Credibility, amazing. Yes. You know, another great way to get to increase your credibility is sharing things like testimonials, awards, accolades. Those are all great things to share and increase your credibility, or client win stories. That's another great way to increase that credibility there. Or if you've been featured anywhere, those are also great things as well. Okay. All right. Marketability and LinkedIn profile update. Amazing. Okay. I'm going to share a few quick LinkedIn profile update tips because since I do a lot of LinkedIn training as well, I get hired a lot to do LinkedIn training. I'm going to give you a few quick tips since we have a few more minutes here. Is number one is you want to have a great LinkedIn profile picture, right? These days, like you can certainly just take a picture from your phone, or some people now like they use AI to spit out some like AI professional photos as well. You can invest in that, like really low cost, right? Have a great LinkedIn profile. That's the first impression. When I was a recruiter, I would be searching for candidates, and the first thing that people see is your name and your profile picture, and then your tagline. So the second thing you want to do is have a compelling, catchy tagline. By default, it would be like your job title that you have. But what you want to do is maximize that space by adding either your job title plus searchable keywords, and a unique value proposition, meaning like an impact statement of what you bring to the table there. Okay, so maximize that use of that tagline. That's number two. Number three is you can also take advantage of the banner that's right behind your profile photo. Think of that like almost like a marketing visual that you can talk about your, essentially back to your brand, your niche, your expertise, of what you offer. Have some sort of call to action there. Okay, so you can use a tool like Canva to design that image. It will have tons of templates already to design something like that. Okay, the next piece is to have a great about bio. This is what I call the premium real estate space, where you can tell your story. Right? Most people by default will just have a really short blurb and a very formal writing. I recommend making it conversational, like use the I, right? Tell a little bit about who you are, what you care about, what you're great at, some interesting career highlight story, and then have a call to action of what you offer, invite people to connect with you further. Okay. Bring in a bit of that storytelling so that it feels more personable and warm there. Okay. So those are the key things I would offer to update. And then the next section is really updating your experience section. Right. You really want to essentially, especially your most recent 3 to 5 years, you want to make it updated on what you've been up to the last several years. So showcase your core competencies, your expertise, and like your wins there. Okay. Awesome. All right. So I see, okay, we're doing like some quick tip recap here. Okay. Let me see if there's any, thank you. Thank you, Jen, for putting together my updates here. Quick tip for LinkedIn tips here. Okay. So Chris wrote, I think my posts are not being seen. Well, you know what? I've noticed this too. Like even for me, like I've recently achieved 50,000 followers on LinkedIn. I've definitely noticed also a drop in terms of views as well. Like I've heard it from other people in terms of algorithm as well. But you know what? We all start somewhere. So don't give up. right? You also could continue to fine tune your writing, your post, even updating the type of hashtags to use, being active as well, like not just posting content, but also engaging in other people's content as well. Okay. Part of it is that they want to see the engagement of there, but don't let that stop you from posting. Like sometimes I get no comments at all in my post, but to me, it's also the consistency and value add. Like sometimes I'll go to like a networking lunch and someone will tell me, Diana, like I'm always seeing you in my feed. Like even my recent homecoming event, people I haven't seen in like 10 years, 20 years. They're like, Dan, I feel like I know what you're up to because I see all your updates and feeds in my feed there on LinkedIn. And so part of it is just staying top of mind, right? So it's not necessarily that you have to have like a viral post per se, but it's also like showcasing like how are you growing, evolving, and how you are adding value as well to your community and network there. Okay. All right. Yes, the live is being recorded. Right, the live is being recorded that. So if you missed it, feel free to catch the replay on my LinkedIn or go to my YouTube channel where we'll be adding timestamps later on there. So thank you so much for attending today. Let me know what are your key learnings before I wrap up here. So a few things. Let me know what your key learnings are. If you want to stay connected, make sure to follow me on LinkedIn or join my mailing list here that you can see up here. You can use this QR code, mymarkability.com/list, where you will be added to my newsletter list that will share some tips and you'll get access to all my LinkedIn learning courses for free as well. So feel free to hop onto that. Or you can just go directly to LinkedIn Learning, type in Diana YK Chan, and you'll see all my courses there. These are all nano courses, which means that they were all created from my iPhone. So they're mobile view, very mobile friendly there. So you can just view it from your mobile, or you can also view it from your desktop as well. If you do plan on giving me a glowing review, a 5-star review, it can only be done on the desktop. So make sure that you do that on the desktop versus the mobile there. This definitely helps me to continue getting more courses and to reach more people as well. So we'll love that support from you there. Okay, what else here? Okay. Key learning here, improving my LinkedIn profile. Amazing, amazing, improving. Yeah, part of this, like this topic here, when we think about going back to this, is all about how do I continue to grow, to improve, to learn, right? That's how you're going to really stay ahead of the game, right? So as we wrap up here, right? Like I really want to encourage you. Like I don't have all the answers, right? But we know, yes, the economy is challenging, but don't wait. I always say, like, don't wait for the economy to get better for you to start doing things that you really want to do. Right. This goes back to having that possibilities mindset of starts to dreaming big, thinking big, doing things differently. Right. That's how you're going to attract opportunities as well. Okay. So the future isn't something that just merely happens to us. It's something that we need to actively shape every single day. Your proactive steps, your continuous learning, and your unwavering resilience are essentially the torches that light up your path forward. Okay, so stay curious, stay adaptable, and most importantly, believe in yourself and the boundless potential of opportunities that's ahead there. Okay. It's not just about predicting the future, but also creating your future. Okay, so I want to wish you all the best where you shine your brightest as well. I'd love to hear from you. If you would like to get my support to work further, feel free to message me or DM me or email me as well. Happy to connect further to see if it's a great fit for us to work together there. Okay, so thanks again for being here today. You're all welcome. Oh, that's great to hear. Tomasa said that this was fantastic. As always, thank you, Diana. You're welcome. Thank you for the inspiring words. Ashraf, you're welcome. Best tip, consistency. Yes, consistency, consistently showing up, right? Even when times are tough. Thank you, David, for telling me that you're inspired. Thank you so much. I love that you're always here supporting me. Really, really appreciate it there. Amazing, amazing. All right. So have a wonderful rest of the week. I'm heading out to celebrate my birthday. It was on Monday here, but I'm going out for a nice lunch. My sister-in-law taking me out for lunch here, and I'm flying out to Orlando tomorrow for my LinkedIn Learning instructor meetup for business networking and also for some fun there. So thank you so much for being here today. I want to wish you all the best, Sarah. You take care.